Welcome to another episode of Balls Deep. I am Peter Tobin, and this is...
I'm Brian Lawrence.
And on this episode of Balls Deep, we're going to get balls deep inside of Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis with...
Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, and boy was it descending. I mean ascending. This is one movie that was an epic failure.
Yeah.
I walked into this movie thinking this movie was not going to be great. It wasn't going to be epic. It wasn't going to be anything astounding. Special effects have all been done before. We've seen it 1,000 times in the past 10 years. And whatever. I just thought it was going to be a fun ride. Here are two great actors that we've seen blossom in the past, 5-6 years. I don't know, Brian, tell me, man, what did you think? I could go on forever about this movie. What did you think about it?
It was just boring.
Oh, agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
I mean, the Wachowskis have had an interesting career.
They've had a lot of really good concepts.
Everybody knows about The Matrix. Yeah, the first one was great. The sequels weren't that good, whatever. Speed Racer was like...
They did Speed Racer?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Cloud Atlas, which I actually really enjoyed Cloud Atlas. I loved the ambition of it. I loved the really trying to do and film something that is like totally unfilmable. Like, I think regardless of what you felt about Cloud Atlas, you had to give it props just for the sheer ambition of it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like that
definitely the magnitude of that story alone
overtook for me so much of maybe whatever didn't work for it. But overall, I enjoyed it. But this was just not interesting. That's all.
It had potential in the story. Wasn't it a book first?
Clearly original.
Oh, really?
Completely.
Oh, wow.
They got a blank check, I think, and
wow.
just...
Never mind then. I was hoping that it was a book first because there's a lot of potential as far as a storyline to go with this.
Yeah, it was I liked how they put in more of a political kind of spin on it.
I like the concept that we were seated. It's like the whole where did we come from concept has been a big idea in Hollywood lately, with a lot of movies kind of attacking that question. Where did humanity come from? There's so many movies in the past, forever that we've come up with is like, how is humanity? How did we get here? How did we get to this point? How did we evolve? But this one was just, I liked the concept that we were seeded. We are a crop. We're a commodity. We're used to further the lifeblood of individuals. 100 people condensed into this vial of goo that allows the user of the goo to live longer, basically reverting you back to your prime state. So Brian would look like this. Well, I wouldn't want to look like that, but still. Brian would look 25 at the prime of his youth for the rest of his life, provided he used this goo, this nectar, ever so often. So, cool concept.
Concept's all there. It's just...
the execution
isn't interesting at all. It just didn't grab me.
No.
Really. Like you said, I think Mila and Channing, they do their best. So, I feel like they're both very charismatic. They're good on screen. They have good chemistry. I feel like we
have two gorgeous people having chemistry with each other. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I feel like they kind of were able to make it somewhat watchable, just the two of them. They brought enough into what they were given or to work with. It's so frustrating. You see you see something really good in there. You see that movie inside it, just trying to
be good, but it's
come
so
out,
bad.
And it's just...
Well, the whole scene at the farm, the mercenaries or whatever, they're trying to kidnap Mila Kunis, who's the princess, or queen, and they're all being stealthy and fading into the corn husks and stalks, and they're trying to be sneaky. And then you have this chick on a Destiny-style speeder bike hovering above the corn, and it's like...
Fully visible.
Fully visible. Now, she goes invisible after a second because that's a feature that the bike has, is invisibility. But come on now, you're fully visible. Personally, I would have done the shadowy outline, you know, like the Predator style outline where of the girl on the speeder bike above it. That, okay, I get it. That's where she is. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't need...
Yeah, I mean...
Hurts my head.
Another thing that kind of bothered me, so it's like you have Mila Kunis, who is the hero, who goes from this maid toilet scrubber on this epic journey, and then at the end, she's back to scrubbing toilets.
Yeah, like, that
was
a great arc.
I'm like, so really... have you just decided that that's what you want to do with your life?
I mean, that was one thing I was kind of confused onto. Now, I kind of get the whole concept of... She's saying that I'm a member of the human race on Earth. I'm not a member of the human race that created this cattle of humans on Earth. And she wants to be a part of that, but she doesn't want to change her life.
And also, it felt like maybe the original cut or the script. I remember reading that like the original script was like 600 pages or something ridiculous like that.
Wow, were they trying to do 2 movies, 3 movies?
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do, but
Holy
it kind of
crap.
shows for me in a couple shots. Like for me, it was a little jarring where she's donating her eggs for her and her brother. She goes from like the waiting room, and it's suddenly she's already on the operating table with the gas mask with the cynical doctor, and her kind of realizing that something's wrong. It was kind of like a jarring kind of transition for me.
Yeah, it was jumped a little too.
And I kind of, I was almost expecting it to be kind of like a dream in her head or something, like something that she was imagining happening.
Like when she first
and suddenly she was going to snap out of it and be back in the waiting room. Like that's kind of how it That's how it seemed like it was playing out, but then suddenly it kind of just like kept going, and I was like, oh no, this is actually reality.
Yeah.
But just kind of little stuff like that kind of felt jarring, where I was almost like, was there another scene like in between these that just had to get cut for like running time sakes? Because it's, in terms of big movies, this is actually on the lower end of running times. It's only about 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a little.
Whereas every other movie of this caliber is minimum 2.5 hours.
It felt longer because it was drawn out.
It felt longer just because it was uninteresting.
Yeah, it really. I mean,
they're like that, like.
Oh, the whole Space Invaders scene when they're going from like one ship, and the two of them, Beam and Tatum, try to get from one ship to the other ship.
And it's just, you can't even tell what's going on.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
There's so many ships, it's just like...
I mean, you barely see the... I don't even know, what were they? What were those little...
They were like little security drone ships or something.
Hammers. They call them hammers, something hammers. I don't know, Warhammer.
He retains information a lot better than I do.
Warhammer. They should make a game called Warhammer. It was so confusing. Like Brian said, it's like you see a shot of Beam or Tatum, and they're going, follow me, I got hit, and it's like...
You just have flashes of shit.
It was way too much. It hurt my head trying to focus and follow the path that they were going with this fight scene, with every fight scene. Like the very first fight scene when he
in the alleyway.
Oh, that was
pretty
perfect.
damn. That was cool.
That was brilliant. It was just long enough. It wasn't this epic, drawn out battle like the space or the fighter ships in Chicago were. That was like 10 minutes of boring. Yeah, even the guys out there are like, yeah, fuck this shit. But the alleyway, and I thought that was so cool. It's like this anti-grav rollerblades.
He's like ice skating, like on walls.
I was like jumping up and like flying around in the air. It was so cool. It was like, okay, this is pretty badass.
By the way, somebody please make a video game where those boots
are usable in the way that they're used in the movie.
So damn fun.
But they have to be used like the way that they're used in the movie.
Exactly. Saints Row. I know Saints Row. You're like right around the corner from this. So please, guys, put that feature in your next video game.
It was a
Saints Row 5.
Great concept. Visually pleasing in most.
I think it's good, but it's just there's nothing that really kind of. It's like so much has been done now.
And then
just nothing really like makes you go wow anymore. And that's not really a fault of the movie. That's just in movies of this caliber in general, because there are so many of them. It's like the bar is set so high for what constitutes wow now. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's just everything is great. The world, the planets look beautiful, but it's just
visually pleasing. Everything was visually pleasing. Mila Kunis, she gets kidnapped and brought to the princess. There are 3 primary heirs to Mila Kunis's estate. She's a reincarnation, blah blah, whatever. And so she's being attacked by one, and trying to be killed by one, trying to be killed / captured by another, and trying to be captured by the third. Right? Am I correct on that? I don't even know.
Something like that.
Anyway,
that's better than what I could come up with.
I think that's fairly accurate. Killed by one, captured by another, and captured by the third. So the princess, the female sibling, captures her. Okay, so we bring her back to her planet that she's in charge of. Shit happens, and she becomes the queen. And I don't know. I'm so confused.
And that's where it lost me.
That's where I was lost. I followed the whole thing. I was good. I was like, okay, I get this. Confusing, but I get it. Now I'm just fucking lost. It's like, oh, I'm kind of ambiguous. You don't know if I'm gay or I'm straight. You don't know if I'm young or I'm old. I will be angry. I don't really know what I want to be. I'm emo. Oh! I don't know if that's how the director wanted him to be.
It's so bad,
or the actor made that conscious choice. It was fucking stupid.
No, because he's up for an Oscar this year for The Theory of Everything. He played Stephen Hawking.
Oh, they're
saying
he looks so familiar.
Yes.
So was it a?
But that's why everybody's like, "Wow, this guy went from this to this."
From being a great actor to being what? That's what I want to know. Was that an actor's choice or was that a director's choice?
It boils down to director. The director's going to have the final say, I think, because I don't think he's big enough to have that kind of say, especially when it's the Wachowskis.
See, I thought that this was a book first. So I thought to myself, okay, he's just following how the character was written in the book. Kind of passive aggressive, kind of emo. You know, he would get angry and lash out, but otherwise very monotone.
Unfortunately,
very calm.
Unfortunately, the lashing out everybody just laughed in the theater.
Oh, it was corny.
It wasn't like.
Honestly, I think I laughed so much during certain sequences and scenes that the guy in front of us kept looking at me. I could see him looking, and he'd be like.
I'd say the last probably 20 minutes, I was finally able to just let go and kind of just enjoy the noise for just kind of the last like kind of little act of the movie, that I was finally able to just kind of stop kind of looking at my phone to see what time it was. But it's way too late at that point.
Honestly, you know, we love movies. We love going to see movies.
And again, I know the amount of work that goes into a movie like this,
which is why we appreciate.
I don't want to just.
Even though we tear them apart.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't want to. I want to acknowledge just all the work that went into it.
Yes.
All the sleepless nights probably for everybody. It's just, Unfortunately, it just didn't work. The Wachowskis, from the interviews I've been reading today, are pretty aware of that also.
I will never purchase this movie. If it ever comes out on Netflix, I might watch it again.
Wachowskis, I know you got the new series that you're going to be doing with Netflix, Sense8, that you're doing with the creator of Babylon 5. I hope that goes great. I'm absolutely going to watch it.
And when you want to fall asleep 15 minutes into the movie, and 15 minutes in the movie you've already had 2 or 3 epic fight scenes, battle scenes, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it was not a good movie. Again, visually stimulating. The planets were beautiful. The designs on the ships were pretty cool. It was kind of steampunk-esque. They were. Yes. It was. I thought a lot of the ships were really cool. It was like sailboats, epic ships on an ocean, and I thought that was a really cool concept.
The actors, they do the best.
They do the best that they can with what they had. I mean, you can, as an actor, you can only go so far with a bunch of green screen. Yep. So the actors did an incredible job. The CG artists did a great job. The storyline.
It's just script.
Yeah, the storyline, the script, you guys didn't pull it off. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Right, let's do our outro.
So, what is our outro?
Nothing really.
Well, for this episode of Balls Deep, we thank you very much for taking the time and listening to us rant and rave. More ranting this time than raving. But hope you stay tuned for the next episode. We don't know what we're going to film next time. And maybe in the near future, you guys will be watching us closely enough to give us some shitty comments, because we thrive on criticism. So, till then, balls deep.